I'm listening.
Hello. All right. Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm just so stoked that the stars aligned and we're all here right now in this time and space. And we're going to hear from 4 amazing poets, and I'm going to read like an intro, a little intro, or I'm going to read 2 poems as an intro. And yeah, happy after the solar eclipse in Scorpio and day after the new moon, which I think is waxing crescent. And yeah, I really love the spot, KAJE. I feel like the ethos is one that I really align with, which is dedicated to the intermingling of attitudes, imaginations, and a spirit of spontaneity. And that's always, spontaneity is always what I'm about. And yeah, I'm just like super blessed that all these readers are here tonight. And yeah, I feel like I like also kind of breaking formats, and it's cool to read a poem as an intro. This one I wrote in Chariot and Ben Fama's Simone Bay class, Gravity and Grace, which I encourage everyone to take. Each dawn, every dawn, the cave I kiss, sacral redwood grove, pillowcase myths, and milky thistle. Deep daylight on your face, there exist angel exhaust and presence webs, erotic fixations never cease to surprise me past the silky surface, infinite thickness of space and time. Dew on the lip of the ambrosial goblet, secret of the heart opened for a second, revealed a spiraling hole then closed. I felt some sort of relief during that moment. And then this one. Can our thoughts really heal or destroy us? A headline on mindbodyoasis.org. I want to be rescued, but not by a person, mind-shedding petals of doubt, shame, paranoia. Praying to the 21 terrors of Tibetan Buddhism, web of connections from past life experiences, begging, be here now. We're doing the best we can as I pay rent on my brain, as you gaze into the NYU Langone patient portal, as I click the free mood and depression screener. When lucidity disappears and the next sentence becomes a recipe, communication, a 4-leaf clover. Bright luminosity of a deviant stream runs cool and sweet. Thumbnail butterflies fluttering above the neuron waterfall, instinctively attracted to my divine protection. In a misty emerald glade oracle, as I call on my holy sisters of long distance healing, all rainbows in a brainstem that we be so contained. Love spirals downward spell, higher intelligence, agency spell, synaptic misfire spell, discordance access spell. O goddess of stop thinking and start living, goddess who never leaves me but only changes. Let's go to my star. All right. So the first is it's going to be Chariot Wish, who is an artist and poet living in New York. They're the editor of Anus Magazine, a new leftist journal about anal sex. And also their chapbook, A New Heaven and a New Earth, is really incredible out on Wonder Press. Please welcome Chariot Wish.
Hi, I'm Chariot. This poem is called Grace is an Ineffable Automation Towards the Good. There are times when I look above and beyond that I do not see the need for this reality. Your agony reminds me of mine. Can we talk? Sibling of the book, I hope you're doing well. Play it the way you feel it. Let me see it spread. Now one from the back, now one from the front. Now send me one of you jerking off beneath an underpass. Speaker with lovers inside. This one's called The Bell Tower. It was formidable, the sexual affair, that spot on the hill, the loss and the loss of the loss. The curve of your dick excites me, go fuck the open road. With a Freudian eye closed, doesn't it look like something perfect? I don't think there's an exit. The real I, the fake I, the real I, the fake I, the real I. It is January, I want candy. This one is about drones. It's called The Unblinking Eye. Her first night in New York, Soho was on fire. God splits the skin with a big nail, plunges in a dirty hand. There are no angels in America passing through the exit wound of history. Why didn't you tell me you like violence? I like violence too. In this place, love is the most wicked thing. The information wars, celebrity socialists, businesses that sell weed that doesn't get you high, race fakers, beyond meat, asexual flags, viral videos of people's meltdowns on airplanes, January 6th, Chaz, gang stalking conspiracies, pro-Anna communities, doomsday cults, hype houses, house hacking. The Mennonites smelled so good, so earthly their bodies naked under blue and black clothes. Give it one long lick along its heel, the big container, the fattening sky. I've made ancient Greece very small. Now I will eat it. This one's called So You're Gonna Fucking Kill Me or What? In God's winking eye, I kept thinking things like, this is the most beautiful I have ever felt. I want the worm moon to be a real worm. Have my hand disappear into your halo. You know, the one that crowned my face before I stuck my tongue inside. Go to the beach and get ass naked, then lose my mind. Shoot 2 guns in my mouth at the same time. Rip the package open with my teeth. Swallow the earth in one evil gulp. That's no moon, and I journey through a body. This one's called Intelligent Dance Music. Moon is huge tonight, petrichor, the wet god rail. I have this feeling it is moving its tongue or hair wrapped around my silly neck. The train worms its way through the bridge. Stupid fog machine won't stop blasting. Fog. You can't talk like that because you weren't there when the oceans were created. Okay, yes I was. How about you give me my turn to rip my head off its shoulders, throw it like a pumpkin from the highest tower of the castle. If heaven is belief in the future, tell me which line to cross to no longer be a virgin. Like where is it hidden in the circle of your breath? I'm falling ill with some incurable bee, while a maiden sticks her finger to the gash underneath my nipple in the shape of a star. This next one's called Teorema. Transcendentally stoned, saw him off a balcony, hand through his hair as it falls on the floor. Panting on my back, I said, holes aren't longing to be filled. Oh wait, yeah, what about the one stretched so far overnight, slouched in your dimming light, crying while making out with the most beautiful man? Terminal walk up a mountain, grace of degeneracy, being the body around an anus. Wanted to pee on you in a loving way, worst loss of all. Wet arrow to the back of the head, why this urgency? Unrolling the link of your response, don't know what the deposit body of the earth is. Bags know death, live close to death. The shape of your neck is real. This kind of waiting is the love itself. I don't care what you meant. A long black glove slides over history. Okay, this is my last one, and it's titled Blood That Collects the Surface. blood that jewels the thick skin of reality. I protected my personal quality of horror in order to maintain its mysticism. A good girl could only be one thing, a good girl. Diamond nipple put my pussy on loose. Sometimes to sleep you have to become ancient. I felt so much pleasure, the molecules around me convulsed. A blood of braided revenge, an infinite chain of losses. And well, I felt so much pleasure when you cried, when I made you cry, when I let you make me cry. Which way is north? Into what tower? The one that sees, the one that sees. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chariot. And up next is Adrienne Greenblatt, who recently also curated a really awesome reading at Burn with Retail Pharmacy. Adrienne Greenblatt is a non-binary, multidisciplinary artist, poet, and activist based in Brooklyn. Their Texan upbringing, mixed Salvadorian Ashkenazi heritage, interests in the spiritual and natural worlds, and fascination with synesthesia, the body and illness, inform their practice. Their work can be seen in the Peace on Earth Review, Volume 2, Anus Magazine, and the Crisis edition of Grapevine.Earth. Adrienne received their BA in Theater and Dance with a concentration in costumes from the University of Texas at Austin in 2017 and recently graduated from the Warman School of Writing. They are an active member of the disability collective Sick in Quarters. Please join us in welcoming Adrienne Greenblatt.
Hi. Hi. Banners burst. Little tombs for every little death, immortalized in sheet stains, secretions, excretions, wounded memories, moments of serene peace, eternal numbness and vast unknowing. Burn everything. Perfumed flames yield fertile ashes. Baptized with the Stygian, watch the chthonic efflorescence as acrid musk gives way to petrichor. Hawk prayers. Estuarine caresses, sweat forged in the luciferin glow. I've seen the beast, veiled in gossamer vapor, the deafening calm quiet against the euphonic, whirring, swishing, buzzing, an unearthly lullaby of trees, of wasps, of soft breezes, of wings, quenched. There's music in our mouths, a time warp, among impenetrable films of fluid. We are drenched in air, lost in the bioluminescence, a tender kiss and a saccharine whisper in the haze, two fawns in the waves. Sometimes what you see is not what you see. I am wandering with a mouth full of kisses, cunt-filled, leaking, saturated, insatiable, pounding on pavement, wearing my membrane, grinding bones to make bread, carpet burns, clothing snagged on talons. I am wandering through sand and loam with a stone tied to my back, enormous, inescapable. People fixate on the Sisyphean. I am load-bearing. I sink, screaming. Mouth gapes, wind escapes my lips, silent spirals of air. Dismantle me, bit by bit, limb by limb. Lay me to rest, a box of crystalline broken pieces, marred by saline deposits, cracks, stains, eager to dissolve in warm ooze. Teeth chained together, I squirm under the suction of lips and tongue. Sea spray ushers forth. I smell violets and gasoline. Spit honey into mouth. Let milk dribble out. Disseminated, dismembered, disgusted, discussing. He has performance anxiety as if it's somehow my issue. My eyes betray me in mirrors. I'm only saved by fungal clarity. Yolks break in my fingers, muculent. God, it's everywhere. This next one is a little triptych that I wrote kind of in honor of like the beach. So, albification. Shell fragments, sea carcasses littered, dried, shriveled, delicate, among dunes, detritus entwined, a basilisk of the discarded, tormenting kelp, snails, gulls. We play with tar till we're caked in it, sensual, sticky, wave crash, bubbles beneath and within, flow, a riptide into eternity, vast boundlessness of froth. Calcination, torrid memory, a tether, bloated bodies, incapable of release, incapable of expulsion of fluids, puffy, skin swollen, taut, hydrating, blushing, fermenting in sweat, belly expanding, refreshed by sun and sea, sweltering hot, hot heat, so sticky, so salty, briny, kissed, drenched, drowning, solar light bringer, death bearer. Putrefaction. Head to the clouds, mouth gaping, buds and blossoms climbing. Look up, a barren branch to the sky, engulfed, erupting, inflamed with petals. What's it like to have your holes filled all of the time? I'm crying. Oh, to be blessed by buds reaching up to the heavens, so suddenly, so temporary. Coagulated dreams lie before me. The smell of blossoms and the sensation of spit. Blossoms give way to leaves. The scent of rape lingers, gnashed together amongst petals smell rotten. The crackling of seminal proteins crusted across skin, stretched, taut, stinging eyes, heaves, mucus-filled membranes at the throat, crotch, stinging at the eyes, throat, crotch, a most unholy rebirth, clawed out of the meat. My womb lays hollow and aching, arisen from carnage, the syphilitic sphinx, my sleep paralysis demon, flayed, sterilized, suspended in nectar. That's it.
Thanks so much to Adrienne. And up next we have Manal. Manal is a Moroccan-American self-taught artist working across sculpture, installation, video, and text. Recent solo exhibitions include Conjectures, Shulhat, Nazarene, Los Angeles, Slem and Phloem, No Place, Columbus, The Viewing Room versus The Adoring Gaze, Interstate Projects, Brooklyn, and Song of the Other Worm, Prairie, Chicago. It has participated in residencies at Acre, Oxbow, September Spring at the Kesey Farm, Project Free Will, and Shenectady and Storm King. Their upcoming solo exhibition, Hypothesis opens next week at KAJE in Montreal. Please welcome Manal.
Hello, my friend. How's everybody doing tonight? Alright, got some here. Oh my god, I like adjusting it off this airplane. I'm disgusted right now. Alright. This one's called Rode Hard and Put Up Wet. It is now 9 o'clock at dawn. Card-carrying member of the Order of Lepidoptera. How to become a vessel or keep emptiness at bay. Scrolling through the headlines, I once again fall prey to an insatiable idiom. The scene is simply furnished. Yellow pine timbers, a grain of wheat. My friends gather in the eaves, making nests in the corners of the collected botany. Believe me, I try not to hold your doings in my palm, but the earth is meddlesome too. Things want for themselves. Bootleg patches hang summer long in my investiture, waiting there to be understood as a feeling, or something you might conceive as being on the side of the particular. I have no name yet for such a condition, though to speak of it is an act of conjuring, and its title may leak in and out as from a wet page. I wonder how we could have possibly been transformed into this windless sarcophagus, pissing in piles and walking ourselves on a leash. Ritual pollution. The rock enters. The spiral is at the front door. In our shared metaphysics, there is no room for separation between subject and object. Rage is the bridge. Behold the junkyard and a leaflet poet's investment in leaflets. Ontologically, the weeks and minutes unfold like filthy carpet inside my body. The squirrel eating the coyote, its rancid flesh. I've decided to make a mess of futility, I mean futurity. I have no idea where I'm going. Just wanted to see how you'd react with my leg dangling out of your mouth. Though many-sided, the paragraph offers only one entrance. My mouth is a soiled cylinder. Wandering in exile make their way into my erotic logos. I take a short pause at the next station, look back at strangers laughing, before boarding again in earnest and unwrapping my gorgeous sandwiches. Once you find out that you can, you also find out that you don't have to. Here's my list of demands. Day unmarred by night, skin as soft as a serpent's. I'm dispatching my organs in search of a small corner from which to resist the production of categories. Screaming, whose fist destroyed our land? Words are agentive, and that's what makes them terrifying. Truthfully, I could not ask them to be faithful. Someone's called PharmaCon. Recently, I can't afford to be funny because I'm running out of time. My crush is hotter than me. This morning's crossword asked me to define the commonality between a peanut and a pea. The answer? Easy. They're both peas. Peanut is a misnomer, or at any rate, inverted. The Joker makes an appearance in the second act. One of the great tragedians. The audience boos him off the stage. Usus, fructus, and abusus. I don't need anyone to bring me here. I'm already here. Submitting my limbs to a meta-analysis like which speech acts are forgivable. I never knew how to speak English correctly, always saying things like by the by and hey batter batter. To defile oneself is interesting. Example, when I accidentally fucked a cop. The Joker makes another appearance close to the end of the story. Legend has him dying. Legend has him grasping for a star, suspended by ropes from the catwalk. Legend has his balls in a vice. Like a rabbit eating its stew, I'll stay in the house as long as I remain lonely. Spend too much time elaborating a nice armature for social living, while waiting for cyborg art to get sick of itself. Other people plan. I don't. You have to imperil yourself. Find two opposing views to bind or connect with the ligature. I got a few more. This one's called Christ Redeems One Token. So a piece of pollen walks into a dog. What a day. What a fantastic piece of meat, you say. Redeemer without a theologian, perhaps at random. In the air tonight, scarcely enough time for another grappa. Let them demon their own fortification, that I might see you better. Lush sunset, contrariwise, cranes its neck to appeal in predetermined weapon to songs of pure reason. On his right piece of meat, there he is, the woeful theologian, tying his shoes in a corner for all the world to notice, eliminate matrix systematically, and cry out about his stilted notation. Am I doing out of time? Should I read a couple more?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll read a couple. You know what? I'll read a couple of risky ones. There we go. I'll read a couple of new risky ones. That's cute. Yeah. Woo! Oh wait. Oh, I gotta do it. Sorry. I'm a mess today. Like, don't even worry about it. I'm a mess. Where's that one? I got a good one. Yeah, okay. I got four shortish ones. This one's called Jagged Himbo Uranium People Breasts. Streets get hopeless to their essence, cold in color. All blood intellects of bellowing steel touch for it. Breath is barbarism. Shirtless milling, swing fog of jock straps for some bubbling behavior. The moral of cold life. Pure battle arouses window play. Give year back, we have sense that lakes. Not this sad dad one. Alright, too ugly to live, too stupid to die. This will be my last one, I think. It's 3 or 4 in the morning, but Nisa won't stop with this eerie exercise of growing her toes far into the corner of the room. What are the blueprints of regret? Counterfactuals don't come easy to me. I prefer to be alone. I forget and go on vacation. The middlemen are pleased, enjoy their dinners, enjoying their shareholders to trade prolifically. The geese are rioting, the cranes rear back. To milk one thing into another, is it sexy? The violence? Always. Is it sexy? How I control my avatar, contort its simplistic expressions, too pixelated like words, like signification. With my hair like this, do I look like a dangerous assassin? I'm jumping past all ordinary precursors to land at once with violence on the side of violence. One way to freedom is surrender. Another way is to fight to the death. Each strategy belongs to its own proper context. Determining the context is a vital skill. Determining the context is a mathematical impossibility. I drink and I'm as a god. These proofs and proofs become meaningless. I've organized my life around it. That he's sitting somewhere writing, nowhere near to the point.
Thank you, Manal. Thank you so much. And our last reader this incredible evening is Eileen Myles. Eileen Myles is a poet, novelist, and art journalist. Pathetic Literature, which they edited, will be out in November, which features over 106 contributors. So very excited for that. Their fiction includes Chelsea Girls, 1994, Cool for You, 2000, Inferno, a poet's novel, 2010, and Afterglow, 2017. Writing on art is gathered in the volume The Importance of Big Iceland, Travel Essays in Art, 2009. Books of poetry include Evolution, 2018, and I Must Be Living Twice, New and Selected Poems, 1975 to 2014, and A Working Life is out in spring, 2023. The Trip, a Super 8 Puppets road film they wrote and directed, can be seen on YouTube. They've received many grants and awards, including a Guggenheim and Warhol Creative Capital Art Writers Grant. They live in New York and Marfa, Texas. Please welcome Eileen and Myles.
Huh? Do you need a table? No, I'm good. Thank you, and thank you for inviting me in. You guys, this has been such a great reading. It's gorgeous, fantastic. This. Yeah, and everybody read really short too, so I can do that. So I did bring. You don't have to. I did bring Pathetic. I got my first copy. It's so pretty with this Nicole Eisenman. She looks extending a cat, you know, and that's like the pathetic gesture, you know. And there's like, you know, there are this, I mean, like who's in here, Valerie Solanas and Borges and Sofia Hartman and Laura Henriksen and Nicole Wallace, and you know, this is what I did during the pandemic. You know, it's like. But it'll be out on November 15th. There's going to be readings at Powell and then at Greenblatt, so, you know, come. So I have this book coming out in the spring, so I just thought I would read some of the beginning. Just read straight through, which I haven't done. We're gonna do in the spring, which is awesome, is this book is like 700 pages. We're gonna read the whole thing at the Poetry Project.
Oh, cool.
It's like on 4 or 5 different stages, like take the whole building and read outside the bathroom and read outside, like all at the same time. So that we, you know, won't take, because it would take 20 hours to read. So nobody wants that reading. So this is for my friend. Nothing better for people than dogs, nothing better than making you scream here. There were 2 super new cars and then some pink chicken fillets. I guess there were berries for sale in Scandinavia, a man in a plaid shirt and cookies. Also, they are working in the cemetery. I can see their blue ladder from here. A man has written a book about many deaths or many things to do after. Read it, they say. But what comes after is a small idea. Now is large, rainy. Amy, I wish you luck. She was in love. This one's called The Preface, some landscape for Joan. My vanity, all kinds of roads. Looking out at the blue-black mountains and so many houses down among the floor, the crime of so many of us. Big, bold stripe overhead, but it's different too. It's not how the dinosaurs saw. One volume held what turned out to be the window of my life. I keep plunging. You just have to wait till it sees you again. Only that one lens to be enough to be father of the day, and her sound is laid out so regular like God. And you just pick out your business and land on the land. The stripes, the crawling ants. Look what we've done. The other window, darker pony. I'm such a mess. Finally seeing the end of it, thank God, is always the mountains, and that's why we call them friends. That's my limit, and here's the plain now and the town bump. And this one, this title is Page America Myles, which is, I've had 2 relationships with girlfriends who wanted to have babies, and that was my proposed name for the child. And it's like, and these relationships keep ending and the baby never gets born, so. It's a poem now. Page America Myles, I have a landline, so in a state of emergency I can make a call. So you should get a landline too. so I can call you. That's what I meant to say to Erin. There's a lot of suffering here in this room. I meant to connect to a therapist. That's what I plan to do in the city. I'll do that next week. In that case, this means next. It's like my body's pointing with time, full of time. That's what I meant to say to you. Let's have some. First poem. Every experience of being and day awakens me to the difficulty. I change my socks, I see my feet. You don't so much mind my flaws, I think, at the world when I go out. Women in chairs and couch, one of both, a tender dog, actual tears. Today it snows, we go live. Mary, Queen of Scots. The whales breaking the surface are the ocean, no other name. Then I knew that I became ocean too. The black and white mother knows her baby becomes knives. She misses the restaurant and honey runs out and takes a bite of Butter's head. The owner is nice. That forest in Scotland whipping by. Yes, I think this country should become free. Solaris is the interior of my sexual fantasies on pot plant, eaten by movies for years. The veal of snow curves as she drags her pile of trash on the train. This is any butter and lightly screaming train, and I'm excited to see you. Black barns hold my contentment. Dana Ward and Mary Gonzalez and those small tubby rolls in the grass are relevant yellower grass. It's hay. Hedge ends the property. My this is not struck by the gun of a moment, but this tumbling green, long unseen, tiny recollections, exchanging thwang, the release of a bow, honey's safe and butter's safe, the crown of a tree, see-through, poking over a hill, and I want my hands on the font, and I want. Friday night. I don't think I can live without taking pictures. The peach second sun made a move on the right. No clouds shifted in realistic terms, made that melon bright. But what about the angular spray of leaves that made me think of a sight? No, see, an open space and a hook, a beckoning space that shakes when there's wind. What's the heart but an emptiness in your stomach, a hole in your head, a foot on the bed? You happy, you may be happy, non-understandable, us like nature, unknown, all fronds, all silent sound, pulling the trigger always. This is called In You. I feel very protective of wood. If it's living, you can rain on it, but in the sink it rots, so love it like a baby, worship the tree. Love the light bulb in many colors, the blonde for her brightness, forgive me for the obvious, my love, deep and translucent, troubled. The candle, love the candle for its powerful tongue, the dog for his breath. Whatever sex, politeness brings me much, I plan for your death. Mine is the end of the poem. It must be long to direct, to multiply, steam and explode. Love the fork. Its times are how I want to be invaluable. Silly name. Love Texas like a dog in a hat. This makes my poetry rise. Replace it with heat, keel toward me. Please be present. I wrote on you. I write with you. I sleep on you. Hold my love. Steam my flight. Bury me deep. I am one of you, loving you well, and the shame that brought us here. I write a big apology in one lifetime. I do little, open-ended at my best. Thank you for your time, for this long waiting. That's T, not D. To love, if you want. To love, do you only go to new places? Is it true? Did the planet just get born? You and your little legs, and I and my tree am love. The baby crying is the bouncing plane, the strange wind that killed Bob. All of it is true, and I in my rot am having the time of my life. Russia. It's so funny because, well, I'll read the poem and then I'll tell you. I read a book and then I want to read another one about Russia, about the bathtub. I think Russia's too much like me, dry and cruel, blue, wild, cerebral, dour. The poets there have been brainwashed by the team of white poets preceding me, who explained that in America, everything's confessional except them. My intention was to muddle through my reading, not muddle, but wander, explain how I like a mind, like a spaciousness that hungers for more and can get lost inside your there-ness for days. So weirdly, an anthology of American poets just came out from Russia, and it was exactly these poets they were talking about. It was so weird. I was like, now they have a book. Everybody but us. And this is called Tasha. She prefers my phone and using my computer without the burden of her life. Last night, you've had those lovers, right? Like they don't want to use their own shit, they want to use yours. Last night I described it open, a circle. She kisses my knee. It's life that is my name. They thought she had a lot. I think it's enough. I mean, it's astonishing. If I had his, I could feel everything. But as it is, I know what it is. I love your lips. I'm still going to read more. Here it is. This is called Read. Skiers miss the snow. Actually, I was at, what was I at? Some festival or something, and I met the poet Justin Reed, who was about to win an award, but he's in this poem. Skiers miss the snow, and scientists notice that, and I was like, you're going to win this award. He's like, no. I said, no, you're totally and scientists notice what they're studying is gone. Study gone. Carolyn says the mountains will be out, and Justin said I was funny. I push the Christmassy door. When I run out of my poem, I will write the poem you gave me. Enough poems, enough dogs. Making is just taking, if you know, new, do. Like he has no idea I wrote this poem. And this could be possible. Well, I don't know. This is called Nantucket. An episode of Outta Here, in which I have finally taken the Thoreau walk for the New Yorker, and all the pilgrim ghosts and Native Americans are swarming around me like crows. Yes, I said, is that fuck? I asked the Conrad, is that fucked up? He said, no. I think it might be. And I think this is probably almost the last poem. This is, Kelly Reichert, I was asked to write something about her. There was the Venice Biennale was doing a Kelly Reichert thing, and so they asked me to write something, and they were paying me. And so it was so great. I was like, I'll write a poem. I was like, perfect. They wrote a poem. But what I did was I just copied her movie, and she had that great movie. What was it? First Cow. Did you see that? I love her, but I love that movie so much. So I just copied the movie. 200 years for Kelly. The plot walks by, a splashing bucket in the hands of a small girl. Animals wander. Naturally, dog forages. History isn't here yet. The subject is their comfort and their needs. Smoothing crumbs. Temperature is dialogue. Hello, how are you? Didn't expect company this late. Here we are. You've got a nice place here. Sorry about your husband. And we're talking to a cow. Sorry about your husband and your calf. It would have been obvious if I didn't have known that. Sorry about your husband and your calf. It's a terrible thing. Picking and snacking. Sound is the storyteller. Useless people, interesting, petting a bird, oily cake, my warped pen, a dog is watching, a man watches, nothing to do, pull down the little house, roses and sticks. This is a movie. The broken house, is it old or new? The green, wet water, always new. Cow got a little fence like a unicorn and quietly go to sleep to be the target flash of outside as I'm watching this, our nation's miracle, the end. Maybe that's it. That's the end of my reading.
thank you to all the readers and everyone for making it out, blown away by everything here right now. Thank you. And hang out and let's hang out and talk.